Show. Yeah, that's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks. I don't know how this is going to go. Has Notre Dame lost its highest rated recruit in the 25 class to Michigan? Edition of the Always Irish. I don't like where this is trending, show. Oh my God, here we go. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give a video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. And I got news for you. If this goes the way it's apparently going to go, Johnny Boy's going to get roasted by the Michigan Twitter machine. Bring it. Bring it. That's what this is all about. Let's go. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face. Nobody blames you for that. Call in lines. 312-988-15. Call Cousin Johnny up. Tell him all you've heard and seen. Morning show Monday. A lot of varying perspectives on this dynamic. What is the right level of concern? What goes into all this? What do we got to think about? Some good balance from the callers. I appreciate that. How about patreon.com/alwaysirish, former captain, leading tackler Mike Goolsby and myself, breaking it all down. We got some good things planned for this season. Thanks to everybody who's there. All right. Never a dull moment in Notre Dame land. Never a dull moment. Sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for bad reasons. Anything that happens in South Bend gets magnified. That works for you sometimes. That works against you other times. But that's what comes with the magnifying glass that's always surrounding Notre Dame football. And I wouldn't want it any other way. It means you matter. It means what happens there matters. Okay? So, depending on who you speak to, who you choose to read, Taylor has been set to decommit for Notre Dame for like 1 month. Some people are saying 2 months they heard about this. Depends where you get your information from. As I record this, it's not been made official. He's still listed on the Notre Dame thing. So I have an obligation. Maybe that changes by the time you see this. It has not been made official, but everybody's saying it's official. It's not official. Everybody's saying it is, though. The recruiting experts have logged their predictions for a flip. Oh, the crystal ball. They're predicting the flip. Is it to Alabama, Georgia, even Ohio State? You know, whatever. No, it's not. It's Michigan of all places. And I got to be honest. I would never react well to this set of circumstances. I need to admit, I know my own personal weaknesses, whatever. I'm admitting it's worse for me because it's Michigan. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I don't like those people. I don't respect the reporting. I give them a hard time. They give me a hard time. I jumped all over E.J. Allen on the Jadon Blair thing, and I dunked on him. Now it's going to be my turn to take the heat back. That's just the way this business goes. And when you win, you take the victory lap. You dunk on people's face when you can, and when you lose, you got to take it. That business goes. And I'm here for it. So let's go. But I don't respect him. I don't respect the way he does his job. I think he's disrespectful, disingenuous, plays with the truth. It's not okay. And apparently On3 loves it. Whatever. Very unprofessional the way he does his job day to day. I don't respect it at all. So what do we make of all this? In the morning show, there was a couple different angles people brought up. Okay, number one is, listen, Notre Dame's loaded in the secondary. They're doing a great job recruiting there overall. Development there's been good. We will be fine. You just added Blair. Everybody relax. Relax. There was a decent amount of those perspectives shared on the morning show, and I appreciate it. The second framework of thinking that kind of competes with that is this. Notre Dame's not going to get to the elite level of college football if they continue with this trend of losing some of their highest rated players in these classes, which has now happened to Freeman multiple years. Now, I can understand both of those perspectives. I genuinely could see validity to both of those angles. So then what's the reality here? What's the balanced approach that's like middle ground here? You got the practical versus the perceptual. Practically, yes, it's a deep secondary, getting deeper, not only with the recruiting, but a good job with the development there too. So I get that, but I wanted more depth though. Like when people are saying you lose him, but you gain Blair, that's a wash. We're all good. Keep it moving. I like Blair more, whatever. I want more talent. I want more depth. I want more competition back there. That can only help. So that's where I struggle with that argument of like, you -1, you +1, you ended up just about even. I didn't want to end up even. I want to get ahead, damn it. You feel me on that? Like I didn't want a 1-for-1 wash. I wanted to add strength on strength, depth on depth, competition on competition. So practically, I get the argument. You're going to be okay. A lot of people on the morning show, one safety's not going to make or break. I get all that. But I don't want this one step forward, one step back. You're ended up even where you are. I want us to get ahead. So practically, I get it, but that's not getting you ahead. That's running in place. Perceptually, you cannot lose your top-rated player and then say it doesn't hurt or it doesn't matter. Just keep it moving. That's just not going to fly with me. That sounds like a cope Notre Dame people tell themselves to feel better about a bad deal, a bad situation. But there's no world where you can lose a guy committed to you for months and months and months. That's the highest rated guy in your class by 247. And then tell me it's not a big deal. And when you add it onto the fact that it's kind of becoming a Freeman era trend to lose your top guy out of most of these classes, I can't be okay with that. I just can't ever find a scenario where I'm going to be okay with that. So then you ask yourself, how can Notre Dame stop/prevent this? That's the trickiest part of all of this. How do you stop this? And then the answer I get is, well, your boy you always vouch for, the Freeman factor, he's got to close. Well, no shit. Duh. Oh, he's got to be a better closer. Yeah, no kidding. Why does it keep happening? Is Notre Dame messing something up with their messaging or their procedure or what they're offering? Is it just bad luck? Are you landing on fickle kids? What about the timing, getting guys earlier? Does that set you up to be a setting duck where teams just know he's a Notre Dame guy? That's the only team we got to beat and we go poach? I don't think this is an NIL deal. This kid's family's got money, and from all reports, Notre Dame's NIL's further ahead than Michigan's. So I don't think that's it. People are telling me this is about early playing time and what that depth chart looks like. Man, that really rubs me the wrong way. If you're a guy rated as high as this guy is, I would like to think that means you're not scared of competing. And you feel like you could go in there and make your own moves and all that. This is not a low 3-star receiver where if you go to Notre Dame, you're probably not going to see the field. But if you go somewhere else, you'll be a starter. This ain't that. Maybe wide receiver's a bad spot to bring that up. We got problems recruiting there too, I'll get to. But you know what I'm saying? If you're a top-rated guy and the number one guy in a class, you shouldn't have any fear about where you're going to land if you got to go in there and fight for spot. You kidding me? That doesn't add up. If you're that kind of player, you should want that smoke. Snoop style, want the smoke. Others have brought up that the lead recruiter was O'Leary, but then so he builds that relationship with O'Leary. Then O'Leary leaves to join that weirdo Harbaugh. You know what? California is a good state for Harbaugh. It's a weird state. I don't like it. Weird people, weird ideas, weird way of living. Go for it. But that certainly couldn't have helped things with the Notre Dame relationship when the guy building that relationship leaves. I get that. So that's the big question here is, how do you stop this from happening? Is it just bad luck? Or is there something Notre Dame's doing or not doing that makes it more likely that we're in this vulnerable spot? And I'm trying to look at this beyond the Michigan part, which is hard for me because you guys know the perpetual axe to grind I have with their fans and their media, and you know how I feel about that. I'm trying to take that out, trying to take that part out. I just, the -1 to +1, don't worry about it. That for me, man. That's not how you build elite depth. -1, +1, and running in place. That's just not, that ain't what I'm looking for. You know? And then you add in, see, here's the other thing. There's compiling issues. You have this now trend of Notre Dame losing some of its top guys late in a cycle. That's a trend now for Freeman. We got to stop. And I don't have the answer. But then you also add the wide receiver stuff. There's still concerns there. Hines, Robinson, Meadows, like, do you lead for any of them? Are you going to get any of them? Burris, people feel better about than Bettis. Like, that's not a good enough wide receiver situation. And the update I got on that is, yeah, I don't know, John. I don't have anything good to tell you. It's maybe coin flips for these guys. That ain't the update I wanted to get there either. There are parts of this team that are being recruited and developed that are playoff winning parts. But until you get all of them there, I don't know how you're going to get over the hump. And then some people bring up the portal as a way to cover some of these needs. And I get it to an extent. What I mean is, if you're going to be able to stay in outs for quarterbacks from now on, which I think they will, and I want them to, you're going to have money to go spend. So if you need a D lineman to fill up the middle or the edge or whatever, you're going to theoretically have $1 million and more to spend. That isn't going to have to just go to a quarterback. You could spread that out with D-line, with receiver if you want as well. The issue is, to me, those are Band-Aids. Those are stopgaps, one-year fillers. There's no long-term stability or consistency or reliability when you're doing that. It'd be really nice to know we got a few dog wide receivers that are going to be here 3 to 4 years we can build around. Know what we have there and fill in around it. You don't have that when you're doing the one-year thing. You never know who you got, who you don't got, who's coming back. You never know. It's a lot of instability that makes a guy like me nervous. I love the idea of getting one receiver to fill a spot, one D lineman, whatever, stop gaps. But that's not, you can't build around stop gaps. You can't build around 1 year guys like that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So is this the end of the world? No. But there is a problem. When you have multiple years of evidence, you're losing your top guys. That's a problem. That's unsustainable to be in that position. That's the big perceptual and practical problem I have. You cannot lose your top guys and maintain recruiting momentum. It's just not possible. It's not reasonable to think you could do that. So, end of the world? No. But does it hurt? Yes. Is it a sign of a bigger institutional problem? Again, I don't know that because I don't know all the details behind the scenes with Keeley and with Bowen and with this guy. I don't know whether there's an overlapping consistent problem or something Notre Dame's not doing right, or if these are just a bunch of weird one-off situations you didn't end up on top of. I don't know that. So practically, I'm sure Notre Dame's going to be fine. They're doing a great job recruiting and developing the secondary. They're probably going to be fine. But big picture, you can't lose your top guys and feel okay about it. You just can't. And no level of cope is going to get me to that point where you're losing your top guys and I'm supposed to go, no big deal, doesn't bother me, keep it moving, next guy up. It ain't going to happen. So practically on this one, I think you're going to be fine. But perceptually and long-term practically, if you want Notre Dame to get into that elite recruiting mix, you got to figure out how to prevent this, or you got to go steal guys. I'm not sitting here like, oh, Notre Dame's the victim. We're the bank and we just got robbed and there's nothing you can do. You go out and steal somebody. You go out there and steal somebody else that's verbally committed somewhere else for months. You go steal them. Minus Taylor. You minus Taylor, you add Blair, and then you go steal somebody else's top guy. I'm not just going to sit here and get robbed. I'm going to go do some robbing too. So you want to talk about how do you stop this or whatever? I don't know. But the next best thing you could do is go steal somebody else committed somewhere else. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Right? So you want to be like, what do you do now? Go steal somebody else. So I don't know. I would really be interested to know from the group, from you guys, what are the realities of this? What is the appropriate level of concern or worry or not so much? Perceptually, what does this tell you about where Notre Dame's at? Does it bother you that this is a multi-year trend for Freeman with top guys? I don't know how it couldn't bother you. That's my biggest takeaway. I don't know how that can't be a problem for you. So let me know what the right level of worry is, and then let me know where Freeman's at in all this, how you shore this up. Because you ain't getting to elite losing your top-end guys. You're just not. Let me know what the realities are here. Am I overdoing this, underdoing it? What?